Hello, everyone. It's Bob McCraney with This Month in Realty, and today I'm super happy to have Connor Kobilarcsik with us today. Connor is with Russell Real Estate Services in the Cleveland, Akron, Ohio area. Connor, tell us how the market's doing in Cleveland.
Hey Bob. Well, the Cleveland, Ohio market right now, Cleveland, Greater Akron, all of Northeast Ohio, we're seeing a seasonal slowdown. So up here, we get a lot of snow, it gets cold. So not only do we deal with the seasonal slowdown from school starting and those kinds of things, but also people don't like to move in the cold as much. So we're having kind of a typical slower fall, meaning longer days on market and fewer buyers buying, along with all the other pressures from interest rates and things like that. So right now, inventory is still low, but we're having a hard time getting those buyers into houses because of the seasonal slowdown.
Interesting. Okay. Are you seeing prices go with that, or just the slowdown itself?
I think prices are going with that, but I don't know. There's a lot of price decreases every day. Like I think mostly every day there's about 70 or 80 in my MLS, but a lot of those I don't think are prices dropping, but just adjusting to where they should be. So a lot of times like it's sellers thinking they're going to get, still today getting 21, 2022 prices, and it's just not going to happen. So a lot of times I think the market's just adjusting to where it, should be and where the market's going to be, I think, for the next couple of years.
Excellent. Okay. So tell us about the most difficult transaction you had in 2023.
So I had one that stands out a lot, and I had this listing. We were under contract on another house to purchase with my clients, and then we listed their house. We had a buyer come in, we went under contract on their house, and essentially what had ended up happening was when the appraiser we were on our way to closing with both. The appraiser went into my listing and noted a very large vertical crack that I had not seen. The inspector had seen. So the inspector had already seen the crack, but we negotiated credits to be given at closing so that the buyer could repair them. But the appraiser said that we can't do anything until that's fixed. So even though we had already negotiated credits, so my clients were going to have to pay upfront for that to be done. It sounds like it would be really simple and easy, but this house was in Cleveland proper and nothing moves quickly. So we had to get permits for that, which took several weeks. In the meantime, while we were getting permits for that, we fell out of contract on the house they were buying because they didn't want to wait. So at one point, everything was like a huge mess. The way that we ended up solving it was that luckily they had some extra funds to fix the wall, and then they were able to move into their parents, but obviously not an ideal situation for two people in their mid 30s. So it was pretty stressful, and it took a lot of teamwork to be able to make it happen.
These are the stories they don't show on Bravo. These are the stories you never see on HGTV
Yeah.
about how real estate can turn really tough really fast.
Yeah, it was a lot of managing emotions, de-escalating emotions, problem solving. And I think it was a good example for me how important a good co-broke can be, because the agent with the buyer on my listing was fabulous. And like if we hadn't worked together every day to try to figure out solutions to this, like it definitely would not have closed.
Gotcha. So, how did you overcome the hurdles to get your clients to closing in general, not just this one, but what are the big hurdles you're having to run through right now?
Yeah, I think some other hurdles that I've run. I mean, on that particular one, it was just a lot of teamwork, and the bright side of all of it is my clients moved into their parents, and they ended up buying a house that they are like so happy that it worked out the way it did. They bought in a different city in a house that they really like. So in other ways, like to get clients to closing, I mean, it really takes being a problem solver and also just being able to be honest and de-escalate emotions over the phone or in person.
Mhm.
I think also what helps my clients get to the closing table is setting expectations from the start. So I've tried to get a lot better at that over time. Like what happens after the inspection? Like this is typically things that we're looking for after the inspection. That way, when we have the inspection and they get it back and there's all these little things, we've already managed expectations like, hey, like these things might just be small fixes. This thing might not be a small fix. Here are your options. And so by setting expectations and kind of giving the lay of the land of how it's all going to work, I feel like people are typically less likely to um, you know, get cold feet or kind of get freaked out by an inspection report or get freaked out. I think the other thing is having good partners. So obviously another big part of the transaction with buyers is to have a good lender partner who can help explain everything to them, make sure they're staying on time and making sure that they're pre-approving them for something that they can't afford and feel comfortable affording. And then of course, you know, with sellers, I think another thing that can, like right now I have two listings that have been on the market for quite a while. So in quite a while, I mean like 35 days, but so not that long. But again, it's managing expectations and just making sure that I'm communicating throughout the process so that they feel like they know what's going on.
Excellent, excellent. So how would somebody reach you?
Someone can reach me on Instagram or Facebook or my phone number 440-539-6347. Or my Instagram is Connor Connor Kobe Realtor. And then Facebook is just my first and last name.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So will you come back next month?
Yeah.
Okay, tune in next month to hear more from Connor and other real estate experts around the United States and Canada. Take care.